everyone, and welcome to my little corner. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the recently released movie on Netflix, Eurovision the Song Contest, featuring Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams. I am from Portugal. I grew up watching Eurovision, so let's talk about this movie. First of all, when I first watched the trailer for the movie, I kind of thought it was gonna suck. Like, I watched the movie, oh no, they're making like some silly movie and this is just gonna be like some kind of satire. I'm not really sure, I wasn't expecting much, but then I watched the movie and I was so surprised and I love the movie. Only silly part about the movie was the whole boat scene and the whole Demi Lovato situation. That was kind of silly. I don't really know what was the purpose of that, honestly. But other than that, putting that aside, I thought the movie was great. It did a pretty good representation of what Eurovision is like, you know, besides the whole behind the scenes drama that was going on in the movie, which we don't really know what happens behind the scenes in the actual Eurovision. So here's just a very quick Eurovision 101 for everybody who's not familiar with it. So Eurovision started in 1951 and several now worldwide singers became famous, jump-started their career because they won Eurovision. Those singers include ABBA and Celine Dion. So every European country submits a representative for the country, and then there are two semifinals that happen where every country will perform their song, then the public votes, and then every country also gives their votes, and of course they cannot vote for themselves. Out of all the countries that performed in the semifinals, which is divided into two because it's a lot of countries, and then the top 26 countries will move on to the grand final, and then the country who wins will host next year's contest. Obviously there's more to it, but overall that's how it works. And fun fact, recently, I actually don't remember when it started, but we included Australia. We like invited Australia to participate, and then they became a regular. Every year now Australia also participates. And when I say we, I mean we as the, speaking of whole Europe. And if you have watched the movie, you know that the movie begins with little Will Ferrell in the movie called Lars. The whole family is watching Eurovision and they're watching ABBA performing in the Eurovision, and then that's what sets the whole thing where Lars suddenly has this dream that he wants to win Eurovision. A lot of things that you also might not know is that performances in the movie were actually inspired by real performances of the real Eurovision. There's a part in the movie where there's a whole party, a sing-along party, and if you're just an American and you don't know anything, you never watched Eurovision before, you're just watching all these random people, interesting people, just singing along to all these popular songs. And of course those songs were songs that were in Eurovision, but not only the songs that they were singing, but the people who did all the cameos in the movie. So you might not recognize them, but a lot of those people in that sing-along party were actually previous winners of Eurovision. And some of the most famous, most recognizable ones were Conchita. There's also Loreen and Netta. Those were the top three people that I recognized right away. And in a previous scene, before all that sing-along party, quite early in the movie, I believe, there's a street performance where there's a guy playing on a piano, and he is actually Portugal's winner from 2018. Of course, there are some slight technical mistakes that the movie makes. Obviously, you know, if you're gonna be super technical about it, if you're gonna like super really dig in to the mechanics of Eurovision and nitpick everything, yes, there are mistakes if you look at like timelines, and some things might not make sense. But if you're just a regular watcher, even though I've watched Eurovision all my life, it's stuff that even I didn't really notice. The one mistake that is easily noticeable in the movie is towards the end when they're performing. As you could tell, there were commentators. Eurovision is broadcasted in all the countries, right? Every European country. And then every country will have its own commentator in their own language. So, for example, in the movie, it was the UK commentator that was commenting, and they're not supposed to talk while they're performing. You know, the commentators are supposed to talk before and after the performances, not during, because they're interrupting it. But in the movie, the guy kept talking and just commenting on everything that was happening during the performance, and that was obviously a mistake where it's very easily noticeable. One question that I'm sure was in everybody's minds when they were watching the movie is, even myself, is Rachel McAdams actually singing? I didn't think it was, because first of all, I don't think she can sing, or at least not like that. And second, the voice might be similar, but it wasn't really matching her talking voice. The one who is actually singing for her is Molly Sandén, and I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. And she is actually a singer from Sweden, and she participated in the Junior Eurovision Contest in 2006. Honestly, I'm not familiar with the junior version of Eurovision. That is not, I don't think it's a popular thing. If you watch the movie, you know that the movie focuses on Iceland, and both main actors in the movie are from Iceland, and they're performing in Eurovision representing Iceland. Because I'm not from Iceland, I cannot speak to the representation in the movie, but from my research, from what I read, it's actually pretty accurate. It turns out that about 80% of people in Iceland actually believe in elves. Also, another thing that I wanted to point out is it was kind of funny. There were a few scenes where there were some American tourist kids, and Lars was pretty much like dissing them, telling them to stay out of it, and that's actually pretty funny. America is not part of Eurovision. Eurovision, it's in the name, it's a European thing, and America is very welcome to watch it and admire it, but I don't think anyone in Europe wants America to get in the middle of it. A fun fact that I kind of want to throw in here is that Will Ferrell was introduced to Eurovision by his Swedish wife, and he has been watching ever since, and he really likes it, and that's one of the reasons why the movie even came about. So all in all, I really enjoyed the movie. I really liked all the songs in the movie. I think the movie was a pretty good depiction of the real event. If you're familiar with Eurovision, if you have always watched it like me, like ever since I was a kid, that was just the annual tradition every year, then it was pretty nice to see, like, recognize all the Easter eggs in the movie. If you're not familiar with it, then now you know about it, and if you like it, then you can actually, even here in America, you can watch it. It's usually streamed on YouTube, and that's how I watch it now that I'm in America. Unfortunately, this year Eurovision was canceled because of COVID, and that was pretty sad. It is the first time that Eurovision has ever been canceled since 1951 when it first started. So I think this movie came out at the perfect time, because now that this year we couldn't have the real Eurovision, we still could watch this movie, and it kind of filled that void. Have you watched the movie? What did you think of it? And also let me know if you ever watched Eurovision before. So this is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.